Here we go. What's up, guys? Today is the day. You've been asking me about fuel economy unloaded for my truck. I showed you guys some of my fuel economy towing. Some of you guys thought that wasn't good, but I don't care what you say. That is the absolute best fuel economy I've ever seen in my life towing my black trailer. Nothing has gotten even remotely close. I've done it with Fords, Rams, GMs. This is the absolute best of the best of the best. So we're at a fuel station. I'm here in Utah. You guys know I live here. I'm like 5,000 feet or so above sea level. Now, y'all see right there? I know some of you guys want to pretend like the economy is so bad, but $3.32 for diesel fuel. I remember back in 2022 when I lost my job and Mr. Joe Biden himself was in office. Do you guys remember later in the year what the fuel prices were? Does anyone remember? I remember it was like $5 a gallon. So I get some of you guys don't want to give accolades where they're needed, but fuel is so much cheaper, and that is a big part of my life. So I am super, super happy with the new presidency that we have here. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's just facts. And I want you guys to understand something. This $3.32 is actually considered expensive where I'm at, because if I were to go down to Costco, I could probably get this right around $3 a gallon. So yeah, I just don't feel like driving out that way, and I'm going in a different direction. So we're gonna go ahead and top off, and I already pretty much got fuel a few days ago. So we're gonna see just exactly how good this truck is on fuel economy. So I'm gonna try to get 150 miles hopefully. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna be sitting in some stop and go traffic. I'm gonna try to give you guys an actual real world scenario here. I'm not hypermiling it, so just keep that in mind. But I'm gonna go ahead and reset the computer. I'm not gonna top off, but I will top off at the end here, okay? So let's go ahead and get down the road. And as I said, you'll see some RV reviews on the channel again, unless there's a whole new team there and they don't let me film, because I have not been there in forever. In case you were wondering, I wanted to show you guys the tuning that I went with, that we have an idea of what I'm running. So just recently, DieselR Corp just added more tune files. So they don't have shift on the fly yet, but I'm pretty sure that'll be coming at some point. Right now I'm running the 125 horsepower tune. They just added the 35, 70, and 180 horsepower. So you can do the multi-pack for $2,300. And I do have a promo code down below for this. Now, I've mentioned to you guys a few times, I'm probably about 30 minutes or so from the highway from my house. I'm probably about 10 minutes from my house right now. But we'll try to clock it on the time here using the drive summary. If I remember, I'll try to remember to show you guys where we are between here and to the highway. Now, traffic should be a little bit lighter today because school is out, but I do sit in traffic for quite a bit here. Now, one of the reasons why I decided to do a weight loss program is because of what I'm telling you. I tried a gas truck out first. I said, let me see if I could actually live with a gas truck. And for me personally, at this high altitude, it just doesn't make sense. So I decided I'd rather just go ahead and get a diesel again, which I did, which is this truck here. And I decided to do a weight loss program. Now, before I left my house, I did actually plug my truck in. And you guys see the temperature. Maybe you won't be able to see it, but it's 53 degrees right now. One thing I will let you guys know, I'm gonna do a video on this separately, because I discovered, I actually looked at my fuel economy, in the same spot, basically where I would check it from my house, and I was getting better fuel economy with my truck being plugged in versus it not being plugged in. I didn't have to idle my truck, because obviously you guys know diesels need heat, and you want to get that oil pressure to get that oil running through the engine before you go. But regardless of that, when you plug in, you can just go depending on how cold it is outside. So I have a garage, so I don't have to wait much more than 30 seconds. So for me, this makes a lot more sense to do weight loss program. Obviously, I know there's some people who think that there's some very, very negative things that could happen, and maybe so. We'll see. I don't think that you're hurting anybody personally, but you have to do what you feel is right for yourself. number one. Number two, you have to check your rules and your laws, and you got to understand where you live at too, right? You got to make sure you live in a state that, you know, isn't going to try to come after you. So yeah, there's just a lot of things that do play out here. But I'll check back when we get closer to the highway. I don't want to use this camera too much because of the drone, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear me over that. So I might use this a couple times, but that'll probably be it. As of right now, it's showing we're at 4,780 feet. The ambient air density is at 88.5, which is actually pretty low today. That's pretty good. You guys see my oil pressure? When I start my truck in the morning time, I'll see like 95, 96 PSI. So maybe when I do my video, I don't like to run my truck cold, I'll be honest. So I don't know if I'll really do it. I did it once and I should have did it on camera, but it's at 95, 96. When I started my truck today, it was at like 80, and then it was like tapering down to like 60 a lot sooner. I hadn't even got out of my neighborhood yet before it was at 60. So that's the benefit of plugging your truck in. I mean, if you're looking to keep your truck a long time, these things matter. I think this is going to be my last truck I buy for a long time. If I do buy a truck, I'll probably add to the arsenal for testing, but I won't sell this one. I'm going to keep this truck for sure. I want to see, can I have any failures from all the extra stuff I've done to it? You guys know, and I'll show you guys really quickly some of the things I've done under the hood, and then of course my other stuff, just to give you an idea and perspective of what I've done to bulletproof this truck to make it better too. We're pretty much to the highway here. You guys see right there, sitting in stop and go traffic. Took us 17 minutes to go 10 miles, which isn't too bad. I would say that's pretty darn good. If school was in, we wouldn't be here right now. We'd probably be another 5 minutes out because traffic just drags on that road. But I'm gonna go ahead and get me a green tea. Some of you guys always make comments about my green tea from Panera Bread. If you don't know, they have a sip club and you get 2 free drinks a day. Because I'm out 3 days a week, 4 days a week getting videos, it's just nice to have a nice large drink. And their green tea is really, really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop there, and then we'll keep going down the road, and I'll let you guys know where we pretty much end off at for the fuel economy. But remember, I was at 4,700 feet. We're at 4,400 feet. So that kind of explains why the fuel economy is so good. So I don't want to hold anything back. I'm going to fill up where we started off at, because I have to climb back up to get to that location. So I think it's only fair that I go there to fill up. Now, in the comment section of some of my videos, I've had some guys who said that doing weight loss program deleting will not obviously get you better fuel economy. So that's very, very inaccurate. I don't know why people say that. As I said earlier, when I showed you guys my fuel economy towing, it's proof. I've never gotten that kind of fuel economy, and I will put a bunch of footage together showing you guys fuel mileage in the past towing that trailer. And so yeah, the reality is I get that some people are just negative towards doing what I've done, and I get it, but don't spew lies, because no, your truck's going to get better fuel economy. I mean, aside from it not doing regens anymore, it's going to get better fuel economy, right? If I were to do a regen on this drive, I mean, I'd be down 20 to 30% of my fuel mileage. So these are things that you have to take into, you know, consideration with what I've done. I'm not having to deal with that anymore. But on top of that, my truck is going to be more efficient. You have a freer flowing exhaust. The turbocharger is not working as hard. So yes, the extra horsepower and torque in boost is going to obviously affect your fuel economy too. But if you're just cruising around, I'm not racing this truck. You know, I'm not racing, I'm not driving fast. I mean, I'm going 80 miles an hour, but I mean, I'm going with the flow of traffic. People are passing me. As you'll see, there's a Chevy Silverado right here about to pass me. So yeah, this truck is more fuel efficient, and you'll see that here. And as I said, I'm not hypermiling. Normally when I do my fuel economy runs, I normally go to and from, and then I, you know, will show you the fuel economy. But now I'm stopping multiple times. I'm going to be driving in the city, and hopefully, if I stay out long enough, I will be driving home in traffic, which you'll see. It's just there's a lot of scenarios where my truck does get worse fuel economy simply because of how I drive my truck. I live in the city, basically. I drive in the city mostly. On my wife's car, her average miles per hour is 28. That's their average. So we live in the city. We made it to Paris RV, and I want to show you guys the temperatures here. While that's loading, we're at 20.9, so I stopped at Panera Bread, right? And on that trip, from there to here, 20.9. And then you guys see that's for the entire trip, 22.1. So we did drop a little bit. You guys see the temperatures there? Great temperatures. But this is pretty much what we're dealing with here. Wind is at 16 and gusts are like at 31. So I was definitely hitting a headwind the whole way here because I dropped from 24 something basically down to 22.1. So going back the opposite direction, the wind probably won't be as much of a factor, but it was definitely a headwind getting here. I almost forgot to tell you guys. Hopefully I already posted this, but I did change my front bumper too. And there's that as well. I forgot about that. And you guys know HE4X is lifted 35s. So that doesn't help the fact that 22 MPG, if that's all I got, is absolutely amazing for a truck built like this. Now let's go ahead and go through some of my upgrades. Starting with banks, I have cold air intake, turbo inlet right behind it, hot and cold side boost tubes. Also, I have the Derringer through banks. I did not use that for this test, however. And down below, both pans, oil pan, trans pan, through banks. Highly recommend those for sure. They do definitely work with dropping those temperatures. Now, as far as VSC goes, I do have a catch can here with their CCV delete. My oil bypass are through Insane Diesel. Highly recommend them as well. I have a promo code for Insane Diesel, Banks, and DieselR Corp. So DieselR Corp, you guys saw my tune. I also have this EGR kit from them. Down pipe is 3.5 inch and it comes wrapped with the up pipes and a 5-inch exhaust out back. So I'm probably missing a few things. Oh yeah, PPE, I do use their larger oil filter as well. I like to keep my oil as clean as possible. I'm trying to go 10 to 12,000 miles on my oil changes. So that's good enough for me. And I just do oil analysis every 5,000 miles or so. But apart from that, guys, I think that with all the upgrades that I've done, I should have a more reliable truck. But you guys will see later in this video the performance I have with these upgrades too. And just like that, we are done. Got 2 videos. Now let's go ahead and do a 0 to 60 run. That way you guys can see what this truck can do. I know some of you guys have been waiting for me to do that because I didn't do it on my trip simply because I was too far from home. If I had any issues, I didn't want to deal with that. So regardless, I don't care now I'm home. So if I have an issue, I can deal with it. Here we go. That was insane. That was insane. I destroyed my fuel economy too. Oh my gosh. That was my first time doing that actually. That was like super smooth. Not a lot of black smoke either. I was shocked. Like normally when I nail it like that, there was no big cloud back there. But yeah, you guys saw what this truck can do. We'll see where the fuel economy ends off at in the end here, but yeah, that was insane. I think I saw like a 14.53 for my 0 to 6, or my quarter mile, and I saw it below 7 seconds. I think it was like 6.28 it says to 60. My 0 to 30 was 3 seconds. That was really good. I'm so impressed with this tune. I really am. Like that was a testament. I did do it in all-wheel drive too, and I did brake boost a little bit. I should have looked at the boost. I didn't even see it, but I'm pretty sure that sucker was high. I just set a new best for my 25-mile loop that it has there. It was at 28.4 for the longest time. Now it's at 29.5. You guys see the temperatures right here. I normally see 138 with that new Banks transmission pan. Oil temps at 192. So far for the trip, on this drive, I just stopped to get some food. I will say I've been going downhill most of the time, because we're now at 4470, so just a little bit. We didn't go down much, but we did go down probably like maybe 50 feet, and it's just a coast down the whole time. So that's why I've gotten 30.2, but for the full trip, 23.4 MPG. That's with the 0 to 100 here in Mexico, that is. Wink, wink. And then, what else? I just can't explain this to you guys in any other way. If you do what I've done to my truck, you're gonna get better fuel economy. Don't listen to the people. I mean, there's really nothing to say. I mean, I don't even want to respond to those people because it's just so dumb. Maybe, just maybe, you know, when guys do a lot of these upgrades, they probably do go crazy. They get the 37, 38s, they lift their truck, they do the, you know, all kinds of craziness. So yeah, you probably will go down, because I'm probably going to lift my truck in the future. Not much, just 4 inches. But you guys see my speed, right? My average speed is 56.5 miles per hour. I had to stop a few times, as I said. I've idled a little bit, and I'm about to stop again. I gotta drop off Josh's camera stuff, so I'm gonna drop this off and then we'll get going again. So this isn't 100% on the highway drive. This is clearly, I would say, 80-20, maybe 80-30 of city driving. I think that that's fair to say. If I was on the highway without stopping, no headwind, I could probably get 25 miles to gallon with this truck. So we're pretty much back where we started at. I have to deal with traffic the entire way home because it's just so many people that moved out to this area. But regardless of it, this is the trip from the last destination that I left. 28 miles away, and I pretty much climbed the entire way here. So I think we were down to what, 40, I think I saw like 4,100 foot today, and we're back up to 4,780. I think that's when we started today. That's where it was. So we're pretty much back there. Here's some of the temperatures. That's the hottest I've seen the transmission get, but you have to keep in mind that little scooper doesn't work when you're just crawling like this in traffic. So yeah, I did this for probably like 15-20 minutes of this trip. You're just kind of sitting in traffic. But yeah, we're about to get to the fuel station right there, and I'll go ahead and top off. I mean, look at the range. The range is still saying 586 miles, and we've driven what, 132 miles. So if I was on a constant trip, right, I could probably easily get 25-26 miles to the gallon, which is just unheard of. I know people will say in the comment section, I can get 24 miles a gallon doing the same thing you did, and I promise you it's not true unless your truck is weight loss program like mine. And I will say Ford trucks do get pretty dang good fuel economy, but you have to show that you're actually getting it, because I did do some testing with Ford trucks off camera, and I was shocked at some of the fuel economy I got. But once the truck goes into regen, it just kills the fuel economy. Now, just in case you were wondering, I do run the Lorenzo's oil fuel enhancement. This stuff is definitely interesting. It's not like the other fuel additives I've run. It's very thick, and I'm willing to bet you it does help with lubricity for sure. And I can't speak to fuel economy, things like that. I don't ever really know the difference, but I like it for the lubricity, raising that CTA number. And yeah, I just know that for this right here, 15 parts per million for the sulfur, they've just neutered this diesel, so you have to run some extra stuff there. So let's go ahead, I'm gonna wait 30 seconds, I'll top it off, and then we'll see what the math is. There it is. 133.1 is the mileage. You guys saw 5.882 is what we purchased. So I'm at 22.63 rounded off. That is really good fuel economy. I think that for what I've done to my truck, I'm going to be saving, what, 20% of my money now? And keep in mind, no DEF. And my truck's going to be more healthier. No more regens. So yes, this is going to perform better than a truck that has emissions intact. And if you have an emissions intact truck and you're close by, let's do a test. Let's put that money where your mouth is. If you're getting better than me, I would like to see that. I would love to see that, but no scenarios where it works to your advantage. Let's actually get your truck on a day where your truck could potentially go into regen, right? This truck is better than the factory. It really is. I plan on doing a video. If I do it before this one, I'm not sure, but I want to do a video on just how bad the emission stuff really is. It's not for our benefit. It's not for the even environment's benefit. It's a bigger thing at play with it, and I know you guys understand where I'm going with this, but I'm really happy with the upgrades I've done. You guys saw the performance. I'll have it here in the chart. It's amazing how much better my truck is. My truck is healthier. Any issues I have, yeah, I could definitely have issues with this truck and it could cost me more money, but I'm willing to deal with that because I'm really happy. I love my truck now. My truck is so much better. It's so much better than it has been ever. Like all the upgrades I did with Banks, I was happy with too, but this just put the cherry on top. And when you see stuff like this, you know you've made it.